welcome to part 2, or the final part, you can say, of what if the Japanese Empire came back. So where we left off, well, I forgot, so we're going to start in China. So immediately they do continue back in China. And while they're expanding, they're also going to launch a little invasion of Papua New Guinea. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. Yeah, I mean, they're gonna go pretty well, as Papua New Guinea's army isn't that good. It's mainly just like not that strong at all. Yeah, not that strong, but they're good enough to at least hold sort of a defense. And while also invading Papua New Guinea, they set their eyes on Australia. One of the main things that are going to make them in the top 10 largest powers and largest countries, the largest empires in the world. They land over in they mainly try capturing a ton of coast as well. Inner Australia, or the middle of Australia, nobody lives at. As well, it's way too hot there. There's not much farmland, and basically the coast is like a lot better too. As well, the kangaroos and all this other stuff aren't gonna attack you, but the spiders, they ain't going anywhere. But yeah, Japan is doing decent, but Australia having like the 15th strongest army. Yeah, they're gonna hold off a lot better than the Papua New Guineas, which at this point just surrender. Gotta get rid of this whole thing. And yeah. Although Japan is having a lot of troubles, they do have quite a large amount of fronts, or no, like only 3 fronts over here in America, or not really. I mean, because they are hopping islands in Papua New Guinea, not Papua New Guinea, because they sent some Navy fleets over here, where all the Japanese navies over there. Yeah, Americans did kind of break through the line they held, and they're starting to almost get there. But so far, this is still just a kind of a normal thing. But the Americans do try to almost flank them, but the Japanese do just cut this off, or not really cutting off. So all these guys, they just escape back over here, and well, yeah, the Japanese do try flanking them back, but that causes less troops over here. So they immediately just do a flat front. And they do push back over here in the mid area. Back in Australia, the Japanese continue their way down, capturing a lot more territories. And they do plan to fully annex it once they do win, which is a win, but yeah. I'm getting pretty far. The Australians, well, the Japanese getting decently far in the country. They have really no purpose of going in the middle of the country, because there's no point. But Japan starts sending some of the Navy over here, and the very back over to Australia to make more landings, which causes the front to be, or the Japanese Navy to be more thinned out. And yeah, so what I said, making more landings, they land over here and also down here. Also landing on this island and fully taking it over, as I doubt Australia actually had any military here in the first place. And yeah, boom. The Japanese do start really winning all the fronts, as Australia does not have the same type of army as Japan does. Well, their army is a lot worse. So Japan can actually focus on a bunch of fronts. A lot of fronts at once. Well, Australia can't really. But Australians do know how to fight off spiders better, which ain't really gonna help much, but the Australians do manage to push them back a tiny bit, but not much, as the Japanese do just encircle these few troops of Australians' army. And yeah, they continue to make more navy invasions. Over here in this region, I don't know the states of Australia. I'm like, well, it's like some British thing. I don't know. I'm pretty sure that Australia is the one that has Burger Queen instead of Burger King, though, right? I think I'm right. And throughout here, the Japanese do start continuing over the coast, and they start focusing on the more southern parts of Australia to capture all the coast. The Japanese do continue moving, but they are getting more thinned out, not being able to concentrate enough army in this region. The Australians do manage to cut these in half and push them back a bit, completely taking over all these troops and taking back a tiny bit of land. But over here, they do start expanding here too. You make another navy invasion, and yeah. The Japanese start focusing tons of more military, noticing that, well, the amount of military they sent isn't gonna budget, and they eventually do capture this whole entire shoreline. And now, through here, they start expanding more north up of Australia to attempt to capture more coast, as the coast is where most of the population is right now. And continuing more, boom, they've captured over half the Australian coast, and from here they stop capturing coast and start going for more middle. A lot of the Australian army does not really want to station in the middle, but a lot of them are kind of forced to. But the Japanese do have to face really hot weather, but they were already getting ready for this, as they knew what they had to do. And Australian southern front starts getting completely demolished. Over here, the first ones do get connected. The two first invasion areas, the first two naval invasions, do get connected, and now Australia is fighting. Yeah, they're just getting squished. And once these two sides do start to move up, Australian soldiers' morale starts to give up. And when soldiers lose morale, that's the loss of actually trying to fight, mostly. So they connect quite easy, and Australia, being split up, does surrender, and they are fully annexed. And I'm pretty sure to this, they would be bigger than the Hadi Umayyad. I forgot which Umayyad it was. I don't know how to pronounce it. It was like something Umayyad. But they might be bigger since Australia is humongous. And the Japanese are already capturing a lot of China and Indonesia. Yeah, they're probably bigger than the Umayyad at this point. Back in China, they start sending out this, and they start moving up coasts. Now China, the only coast China has left is this little cut-off piece, which is really only surviving off, well, just, I don't know. They had an abundance, let's just say they had an abundance of Chinese military here. But that abundance is kind of running out as they are getting pushed back. And soon over here in the other main front, or the main front, yeah, the Chinese are getting pushed back all the way. And yeah, their conquest to get Tibet is getting closer and closer. and they do spearhead straight towards the region until China finally just accepts defeat and surrenders. And Japan does not hold back on the land taking as well. Japan, as well, they do take over quite a bit of land, taking over half of China completely. And yeah. Now I'm pretty sure China and Japan do have the largest border in the world now. I can finally just erase this border now, and boom. Now I'm pretty sure Japan is definitely in the top 10, bigger than the Umayyad, and I mean they have over half of China with Australia and a lot of, well, they pretty much fully own Oceania besides some islands in New Zealand. But yeah, after this, after not really needing a navy anymore, as they can just enter through here, they start focusing a lot more in here. And also, since they have now full control of all of the Chinese navy they had, that's even a bigger buff. And the Japanese do start pushing the Americans back until the American Navy losing way too much, and the Japanese, with probably the strongest air force by now, kind of going back to kamikaze, just with not people in it, just like, you know, like just smaller and less costly jets. Till eventually America does send their navy out, and well, that is just it. Japan now having full navy access to, well, I forget what the sea is called. That's not the Pacific Sea, is it? Is it? I think this is the Pacific, right? Hold on, I gotta use my brain on this one. It's either Pacific or oh no, it is Pacific. Yeah, no, it's Pacific. Okay, yeah, it's Pacific. All right, and boom, China out of the game. Well, we're not just done yet, as the Empire still needs to invade a couple more. When I need a couple, I need several more. I like this whole region, and totally not India, just like totally not India. And yeah, Japan invades Vietnam, which instead of being Chinese, they're Japanese. So they're actually gonna win, because, well, you know, we know China against Vietnam, like pretty much almost every single battle we ever had, Vietnam defeated China. A little just sad. But don't worry, as well, the Chinese are no longer fighting, and the Japanese are fighting. They've defeated Vietnam once, they can do it again. And they're gonna do it again. And going down this little thing, they're not gonna use any Navy equipment, as they're saving that for America, as they will go around for a round two. Except they're spending like, knowing America, over $1 trillion on Navy now, as at all hopes they need to defeat Japan. And they're also eyeing their over 5,000 destruction balls. But the thing is, at this point, it's pretty obvious, Japan has destruction balls. And yeah, they got that from China, they got that from a lot of places. Now, if a USA throws a destruction ball at Japan, who knows what they're gonna throw at America? A mega destruction ball? An extra destruction ball? Just a ball of balls? Probably destruction ball, but yeah. They fully annexed Vietnam, immediately going for Laos next. First, before they do that, they convince Thailand to just join them. Yeah, just join them. Because if they didn't, they were gonna invade them. Spooky. So yeah, allies. What was it? Thailand still happy they didn't lose half their population to what Japan was gonna do to them. Yeah, they're good. Laos immediately already having to fight two different large fronts. Yeah, that's not good. Oh, and Japan, well, with the Thailand army, well, they've been growing quite a bit, knowing the day would come where Japan would want them to join. So their army really strong, and with that, the Japan just gained another whole thing of army, and Laos does fall pretty quickly to the two powers, and yeah. My mom just walked in, so I might have to go soon. I'll try making this quick. I might make it part 3, I don't know. I'll try doing this as quick as possible. But, yeah. I was gonna do a Russian invasion, or a Japanese invasion of Russia, but I don't think I can. But, yeah. Laos, well, I don't know why Laos hasn't surrendered yet. Now they've surrendered. And of course, Japan being Japan, does what Japan does best, fully annexing people that are not Japan. And they fully annex this thing that's not Japan, and Japan grows to be more Japanese empire type. And yeah. At this point, a certain Myanmar, seeing what happened, and yeah, Myanmar, does not want to be completely destroyed, and also because I'm pretty sure the borders would look ugly as hell. So yeah. Um. Huh. Cambodia falling pretty quickly, and Myanmar just going neutral. That is not a good thing for them, as they were gonna invade India, and Myanmar was their already good way to go there, but they can't, and but they don't want to use their navy. So looks like I do have time. Russia. Japan decides to use their navy on this as Russia. It's just Russia. They completely barricade their border, not wanting any land here, but they want this little strip of land. Don't ask why, I just want the borders to look not as terrible as they already are. So we're just gonna do that. Yeah. Right as the invasion starts, they go pretty far, and Putin wanted to end the war right as it started, as, well, Ukraine's still probably going on. Yeah, they ask, what land do you want? And then Japan says they want, basically, that. And Putin, not wanting to give up all that land, decides to give an offer. They'll give them that land. But Japan, well, just not wanting it, they continue the invasion, and Vladimir Putin having to surrender in Ukraine, a huge blow to the Russians for support for Vladimir, as well, well, they're the second strongest in the world. Even though, people say that and how they're losing, even though Ukraine is getting support from America, all of NATO, or not all of NATO, like over half of NATO, the EU, and also some other allies. And yeah, well, Russia is getting support from Iran. Yeah, Iran. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure China did say they're not supporting Russia in this war right now. But yeah. Over here, they do continue, and they start to enter at the heart of Siberia. Going really just trying to make Russia surrender so they can get the land they want. They start just being a little skinny. And they will slither through Russia, hoping to reach all the way to Moscow, even though, I mean, right here, right there. He's a bunch of mountains, so they can't get there. And after realizing there's too much, they just start scrambling back. And they ask Russia, can you surrender? Well, also expanding more this way. Russia, just not wanting it, decides we should just surrender. And they just surrender. And China, or Japan, does get the land they want. And everything's a happy ending. Almost everything. Just almost. So close to everything that it's almost sad. As well, I already said America was good. Do something. And, well, hold on. Nukes. Yeah, Japan was nuked right here. And I don't know, I put that there. Japan nuked right here, and another time right there. And that's not that good, and Japan getting angry, they nuke Russia back. Not Russia, USA back. But the thing is, they've started only focusing on nukes just in case. So they launch 4 nukes. Boom, bam, bada bop, pow. And when the USA still getting angry, they do it again. Boom, bam, bada bop, pow. And USA being really scared, they just surrender casually. And well, the government is still the government. Nothing changed. But they're no longer allowed to go to war with certain old Japan. Oh, whoopsies daisies. And boom, that is the end. Well, Russia still not at war. And boom, we have the brand new and approved, very unrealistic Japanese Empire. Basically just, pretty much, East Asia, but they're missing a lot more parts of Russia. But yeah, like really East Asia actually, because I mean, like Japan and Indonesia, yeah, they're just basically East Asia, but they're gonna be called the Japanese Empire. Returned and looking high and mighty. That's a pretty nice looking Japan, not gonna lie. And well, that is the end of this video. Goodbye, and hope you have a great day. Like and subscribe. That sounded goofy, but alright, bye.